Welcome back to Monday Mishnah. We're in Mishnah 3 of Chapter 3 of Brachot. And I've got my trusty Mishnah here with the Kati commentary. And I want to read it because I want to get the language just right before we talk about it. Women, slaves, and minors are exempt from reading the Shema and Tefillin, but are subject to the obligation of Tefillah, prayer, and Mezuzah, the thing you put on the doorposts, and to recite the Birkat HaMazon, the grace after meals. Okay, two things. First, there is a time, 1800 years ago, when the rabbis are writing this, in which the emancipation of peoples looked really different than it does today. So let's name them. First, women were treated as second-class citizens, as well as the existence of slaves as a normal part of life. The only place where this does still exist is that we do treat minors, people who are underage, differently than we do adults. So that we've kept, but the rest of it, thankfully, we have now moved past. The other piece is that we've defined two different kinds of mitzvot based off of obligation. So the first is what's called time-bound or time-enacted mitzvot, namely that something is happening externally to you, like in this case, time is passing, and so something that happens according to a certain time, it occurs, and therefore an obligation becomes placed upon you. So in this case, it is something like morning and evening. So reciting the Shema, because it's the morning, you become obligated because it is a morning obligation, as well as in the evening. Tefillin is a morning obligation. As the morning comes, so does that obligation. The other types of mitzvot are not time-bound or not time-enacted. They are event-enacted, meaning because I've eaten, then I have to say the grace after meals or the Birkat HaMazon. Right? My eating causes this to occur. And so what I think we can take away from this is to identify for ourselves what are the two different kinds of things that put obligations on us. The things that come internally, because they are just a part of what my obligation looks like, and the things that happen externally, the things that happen to me that causes obligations. It might be time, it might be a relationship, it might be something else as as time moves along. That might be true for you. And I think even just being aware of what those kinds of obligations are really make a big difference in life. And so this is what I'd like you to do. In the comments below, I want you to tell me, what are the two different kinds of mitzvot and how do they impact you? See you next week.